let's talk about integrated business planning. So we need to acknowledge that customer loyalty, how do we measure that? Well, there's really two moments of truth to know if a customer is loyal. So the former CEO of Procter & Gamble came up with these two moment of truths. So when the customer decides what product to buy, and then when the customer actually uses that product. Think about it yourself. When have you ever held, let's say, two products in your hand in the store, and you decided, I'm going to buy this one, and you put the other one back? Well, you just had one moment of truth for Procter & Gamble, let's say, because you decided what product to buy. But then when you got home or wherever you were going to use that product, you actually use the product. That's the second moment of truth, because the customer is loyal enough to use the product instead of changing their mind and returning it to the store, getting their money back and maybe buying a different product. So those are the moments of truth that we're talking about. And the customer loyalty comes from how we use these tools for integrated business planning. So we have two tools here. We have S&OP, that's Sales and Operations Planning, and then we have CPFR, Collaborative Planning, Forecasting, and Replenishment. So let's look at S&OP. This is an internal function. So we collaborate with our internal departments. Everybody talks to each other. We share information because this is going to improve decision making and execute our jobs better because we have more information, right? We break down barriers and promote responsibility. So everybody is doing their part and they're working together, because if one department needs help, another department will help them out. It's not, oh, well, that's your department, I'm not going to bother. No, everybody's in it together. Now, the CPFR, the Collaborative Planning, Forecasting, and Replenishment, is external. This is where we collaborate with our major customers. We share information to lower inventory costs and improve service levels. And this applies to our suppliers as well as our customers. So think of it this way. If you are a distribution center where you're taking in products and you're shipping them onto the end customer, let's say Walmart or Target or Aldi's, or you pick a big box retailer. Well, it'd be nice that Walmart or any other these other retailers shares their sales data with you, because now you know how much they're selling, so you have an idea of how much they're going to order in the future. And then it'd be nice if you shared information with your supplier, because then now they know how much you're going to order from them. But it also can go the other way. If you know what your supplier has as far as their inventory level, well, now you can know, all right, if I order 10 pallets of Raisin Bran cereal, they have it in stock. And the same thing can go for your warehouse, your distribution center. If your customers can see what you have, they can see, oh, there's 10 pallets of Raisin Bran. I need 5 pallets. I'm going to go ahead and put that order in. So you see how that information can make and improve the service levels among the customer, the supplier, and yourself. So, but this is usually with major customers. Now, if you as an individual are trying to do this, it's unlikely to happen. But the more money you spend, you become a major customer. So that's why large companies such as Walmart, Target, and so on can do this with their distribution centers that they have and their suppliers. So these two tools, S&OP and CPFR, are extremely helpful. But let's look at each process and see how it happens. So the S&OP process first starts off with a product review. There's some strategic planning, operational overview. Then we move into a demand review. where there's more strategic planning and operations review. And then we go into a supply review with the same things going on, strategic planning and operations review. And all that comes together into an integrated reconciliation. Everybody talks to each other. And then, as anything happens in a business, it goes up for a management business review. They got to make sure that it complies with how the business wants to be, their direction they want to go in. And if it does, it keeps going. If not, it gets kicked back for a product review again and goes through the cycle. And it keeps going over and over and over. But everybody's coming together. And hopefully you see how this is coming together. Because everybody has their part to play. And you get all these pieces together, just kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Then you bring it up to management. Management sees, hey, everybody's working together. Great, let's move forward. So we can see a lot of performance improvements from S&OP. And just for some examples here, increased forecast accuracy, 18 to 25% increase. Now, this is a range. You might be higher or lower, but this is a good range that you can have an increase in. Sales revenue increases 10 to 15%. Improved on-time delivery, 10 to 50%. That's amazing. Reduced inventory. The supply chain loves reducing inventory. 18 to 46% reduced inventory. That's just amazing. Reduced safety stock. We'll get more into safety stock in another topic, but reducing that by 11 to 45%, that saves a huge amount of money. And increased productivity, 30 to 45%. So as you can see, this is just how the company is starting to communicate better and work together. So we can have these type of performance improvements. Now the CPFR process, the collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment. As you can see, there's 4 main areas. We have analysis, strategy and planning, demand and supply management, and execution. But at the center of everything is the consumer. Everything is focused on the consumer because we have to make sure our customer is happy because they're the ones that pay our bills through purchases and so on and so forth from our company. So if we can work together to make our customer happy, it's going to go a long way. So what about successful collaborative CPFR activities? Well, here's those 4 categories and what we can do in each category to make sure that it's successful. So strategy and planning, have a kickoff meeting. Have one meeting that lets everybody know what's going on, what's the goals, how we're going to get there. Get everybody motivated. And develop an operating framework. That way everybody's on the same page. They know how things are supposed to be done. Demand and supply management, cadence calls. These are just regular meetings. For example, if you have a meeting every Thursday at 3 p.m., that's a cadence call. The cadence is just because it happens the same time every set period of time. And then you need to plan and discuss promotions and rolling horizons. Now, promotions might be from marketing and sales. Well, don't you think supply management should know about that? Because if they need to get logistics moving to get more product out, they need to know, get manufacturing moving. It needs to happen. Execution, placing orders, prepare and deliver shipments, receive and stock products, record sales, and make payments. So this is all the back end stuff that usually people don't really see, but this is how we make it happen. So sales is placing those orders, or supply is making those orders, and then preparing and delivering shipments, receiving, stocking products. All this stuff is how we make it happen. So we can support that promotion from demand and supply management, for example. And then at the end of it, we need to analyze. We need to see how we did. Perform and after action report. And then build relationships. Because if we can build that relationship, well, we don't have to go through the same stuff. We can just say, hey, it's it's Bob. How are you doing today? How's the kids? Oh, can you do me a favor and get me those numbers quicker? Well, it could be something like that. Developing those relationships will make it a heck of a lot easier than trying to cold call somebody and say, hey, I'm so-and-so from this department. Can you send me that stuff? They may have never heard of you, and they have no incentive to drop what they're doing to help you out. So that's where the S&OP helps out. But building relationships with your customer and your supplier, those relationships could be worth their weight in gold. So what kind of performance improvements can we see? Well, we can see an improved forecast accuracy of 20 to 30% because we're communicating with our suppliers and our customers. Increased sales of 10 to 30%. Just like I said, we're communicating with our customers. Increased margin rate. So we might be able to see a better profit margin, either from getting better pricing from our supplier, or maybe we can sell at a higher price to our customer because our customer trusts us. Improve on-time delivery. Well, we can talk to our customer, and maybe instead of getting it, they want it by Wednesday, maybe they'll accept Friday. Or maybe because we have such a great relationship, we'll get it to them early because we value that relationship. Increased in-stocks. Well, because we know what our customer wants, we can make sure it's on the shelf ready for them to order. And we can decrease inventory. If they really don't order product ABC, well, we can reduce how much we have on the inventory of product ABC. It's that simple. So timing also has an influence on what options we have here. So imagine Christmas is coming. It's a big retail holiday. Well, annual planning usually starts, let's say, October for the following year. So if we're planning this October for Christmas, well, we're not planning for the upcoming December. We're planning for the next December. And we have lots of options. But our options are starting to go down because maybe everybody else, all the other companies, are starting to lock up the manufacturers and purchase the hot new toys. So as time goes on the screen here, you'll see in-season replanning. Our options are going down, but the cost of these options are going up. And then once we get into our execution period, let's say in June, well, costs are going to go up dramatically. And we'll have a lot less options because manufacturers are already producing for for Christmas, and they don't have much capacity left, if any. They might have already overcommitted. So the cost is going to go up, and so we're going to have to pay a lot more, or they might just tell us no. So that's a very high cost for us. So if we can plan earlier by talking to our customers and our suppliers, we might be able to get this all taken care of much sooner than last minute. So if we have all these benefits, what are the intangible benefits? What we can't put our hands on? Well, we can have quicker implementation of new ideas. We got 17% of companies actually see that happen. We're going to have more trust from companies. So 67% of companies experience more trust. But 100% of companies see better working relationships and better communication. That's amazing. So just having this integrated business planning moving within the company is definitely going to have a major impact that we can use to better serve our customers. So next we're going to talk about forecasting and actually dive a little bit deeper into forecasting, such as the methods of forecasting. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.